Hoi! Hoi! Ja. Ja. Oh yeah, I like my beer. Oh, we went minor. Look at one note. Only one finger played to have whole sound. Hello. I'm feeling silly today, so look out. Oh, we're being silly, yeah. So welcome. My name is John Skippy Limcool. It's nice to say hello to everybody. We have our live stream started. Yay! I wish I had. I'll have to get my buttons up one of these days to get like applause and audience noises and all that kind of silly stuff. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Boy, Simeon, Mark, Bill, Barry, Vinder, Mike, Bernie, Jam Juan. Hey, how you doing? Mike, Misha. Welcome, all of you guys. Welcome to the live stream. We do this every Saturday. It's a therapy time, you know, a chance to get together and hang out, talk about all the new things that have happened in the week. Get to have candy. So this is a patch I was playing from a new library we just released for Valentine's Day. By the way, I should point out, we have our Love of Sound Valentine's Day festivities going on at the website. I haven't put something on the banner yet. I'll do that today. But we have a sale going on at 40% off for all of the libraries. I just put it on everything. Even Mega Guitars Part 4, which just came out. You can get it for 40% off. Recycle, Vocalesque, anything you want. For until Wednesday, it's at 40% off. And then UniFlow is the new library from Matthias Sauer that we introduced earlier this month. And then Heartstrings is the library we just introduced on Valentine's Day. And I'm going to show you both of these two new libraries. They're very cool, unique, different from each other in really pretty radical ways. But there's all sorts of stuff on the website. So if you go to the website and you hit the products button right here, just click it. It will list all the libraries that we have, and they're all showing their sale prices. So you can get $49 libraries for under $30, etc., etc. It's a great chance to save some money. I don't like to do 40% this early in the year, but it's Valentine's Day. And I love my customers, and you guys are awesome. And so we did it. We just set it up. Of course, Unify is not included in that because at $79, it's the best deal on the internet. We all know that. Although there are lots of good deals out there, of course, all the time. But it does offer an awful lot for what we ask for it. And we don't put it on sale except for maybe once or twice a year, if at that. So anyway, this is Heartstrings. This is a library Bob Deddes came to me in January as I was frantically preparing to go to the NAMM show. He's like, hey, John, I've been working on a new library, and I think it's my favorite one. And he started a new side thing. If you notice, the name of this is called Micro Cinema instead of Modern Cinema. It's because it's a smaller library. It's not 6 gigabytes. It's not 6 files you have to download. It's only one file. It fits nicely in like 640 megabytes, but it has a number of acoustic instruments. The theme is love. And since he lives in Greece, it's got that Grease vibe, man. I mean, you know, and the accordion is so huge in Europe. A lot of us in America don't realize this. When I was working for Korg, I'll tell you a really funny story. When I was working for Korg doing sound design, and I would make my patches, and I live on the west coast of the US, and I listen to pop music and all that stuff. And then we would go to Japan, and this is before the internet, before that had all taken off, and we would sit in a room, and we would each have our patches, and we'd put them all together, and then go through them, and then collectively vote. And we had Michele Picciulli from Italy, and we had Michael Geisel from Germany. And we called them the accordion and tuba guards because we had to have killer tuba and accordion. Because in Europe, tuba and accordion are like as important as a lot of the synthesizer sounds you hear in pop music to, you know, pop culture, West Coast, not Western United States and stuff like that. So accordion is one of those instruments that Bob did really, really well. He's got, actually, if you go over here to the accordion keys, so they defended. It was like, no, that's not a good one. We need tuba with more, you know, and stuff like that. So he has the keys for both. And if you highlight over here, you can see the bass. Here's the major. Play the same note, minor, and seventh. So you have the chords that you can. You can play the accordion parts. And then here are the keys. So we have accordion in a library. Very, very nicely done. The Valentine piano is his Petrov. In fact, I have a picture. If I come over here and where is it at? Here we go. Here, this is the Petrov. Here's the instruments that were sampled for this library. Oh, please go back to full size, please. The Petrov piano is his upright piano, and it's lovely. Let's see if we come over here to Unify like this. And it has natural room recording to it. It's not every note, it's not lots of velocity samples and stuff, but it's very nice. And then with the right parameters inside a Unify for velocity control. It's very nice. Plays well with other pianos. We layered it and did all that kind of stuff to get it to work. There's a really cool kalimba called the Dusty Kalimba. And this one has quite a few samples to it, I believe. Yes, quite a few samples. So that there's round robins. You hear different samples for the different notes, which is really, really cool. There's also violin down here. Gypsy. With the vibrato. These are not like the whatever Bell, the 500,000 sample violins. That's not this. But it has a lovely vibe, and for a lot of music, you want that unique, something different kind of a vibe. Right? And you can layer them with all these different things. This is what I made called Shipwreck Symphony, using the violin, going into some of the various samples and stuff inside of Unify, and even I think I added some OBXD to this, so you kind of that kind of a vibe. There's nice slow strings. So that's the three main instruments, plus there's all sorts of really cool sound design. Since it's Valentine's Day, he did some Cupid arrows. Sound effects and stuff like that. And Bob is in the room chatting with everybody. That's so fun. This is the version 1 has pitch. So if we went up here, I think this library doesn't really have any basses, so we could go to let's go to cutting edge synth bass. Get some sort of great big huge 64 voice monster poly thing. Load that. Take that down an octave and so, this version has pitches you can see and you can transpose around. And then we have another version of the Cupid. Without that, let's see, Cupid's Arrows Volume 2 is just this. So you can put this over anything of any key that you want. Hi, Doobs. Welcome. And if you're not familiar with Bob's work, he's done 3 other libraries for us. Modern Cinema Ambient Dreams is best-selling library of 2023 that we've released. Back to the 80s is a really cool library using Vital and using Unify. You need Vital, which is a free synthesizer that's wonderful for all these 80s sounds. Renegade was his first library, which was it's a really cool cinematic sound effect, sound trailer, big drums, all the things you need for cinematic trailer music, stuff like that, hits, percussion, foot stomps, all sorts of stuff. It's wonderful. There's audio demos and stuff at the website if you want to check them out. Those are all part in our, right now in our 40% off sale. So check them out. There's other sounds like Kiss, the Flutters. He actually has 4 different Kiss. Hey, Wrench. Hey, Jurgen, welcome to your first live stream. Welcome. Good to see you, man. Welcome. I'm throwing you kisses, baby. I don't even want to... Do you guys want to picture Kiss? How Bob made the Kiss sounds? Bob, did you... Bob got married last year, so maybe his wife came by to assist. Then there's Rain Sticks. These are mixed with sounds of like samples of waters. So it's not just a rain stick by itself. This one is. But there's something funny. There's cool stuff in it. Not funny, but cool stuff. You also record the wine glasses like you see in the champagne glass. Those, Yes, these are real kisses. Sweet. Can you make an expansion with an E-guitar, like shreddage? You know, I want to do distorted guitar. That's definitely, it's a tricky thing because the thing, if you're familiar with shreddage, those guitars are clean. And then the distortion is not in the samples because it's so hard. I will say this, if you need something of that nature, Bob has done that. If you go to Renegade, to the guitar library, these are incredible distorted guitars of 4 velocity, or is it 8 velocity layers and 4 round robins, so that we play soft. And this is the light version. There's a bigger version which has high memory. There's mutes, all sorts of stuff. Here, call up the Rascal high memory for the, give it a second to load. So yes, we have some distorted guitar. I want to do some at some point. I bought a really nice Gibson last year that I'm moving in the next couple months, so when I get resettled at my new place. If you go down to some of the BPM split things, we have some really cool things that show those combined with the drum kits, combined with the grooves, and you know, that this kind of stuff. So we can get into that territory. We're there. We even have it set up so you can play a note here, sustain pedal on, and then up top of the solo, it's going through a MIDI filter. Sustain pedal is suppressed, which means it doesn't play it. I'm using a Native Instruments Complete Control keyboard. I am. It is not NKS compatible. Unify is cooler than NKS because NKS is very slow. It has to load every plugin every time you load a patch. You can't see your patches in an organized, simple way where they're in a list like this. It's all. I'm not a fan of NKS, so we don't have our stuff NKS compatible. No. Plus, inside of NKS with complete control, you would think you would be able to do what Unify can do. Maybe someday they will figure out how to do that. But if we wanted to here, we could take a pad and then just change the loading mode to this. And I could load the piano. And I could add some bells. And I did that all without notes canceling. No long wait load times. So, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of NKS. It's an awful lot of work and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the Renegade library is incredible. It's a stellar library. Bob is an ace programmer and sound designer. It's really, really great. Yeah, there's good bells. This is a really nice library, but it's a micro library. It's micro cinema. So instead of having 20 different bells to choose from, there's 3 that are really nice, and they're different from each other so that... And Velvet Touch. Which I will tell you, if you go over here and you go Unify Layer, and you go to Keys and Piano Valentine. In fact, here, let's add all the bells. So we added this, let's add that, add that. And then to make it even more unique, let's go over here to the MIDI effects slot in each one of these. Give ourselves a jitter box with like 40 milliseconds of pre-delay random timing. This is a random timing effect. Jitterbox is for putting humanized timing or getting a little bit more exaggerated all the way to being drunk timing. So let's say about 50 milliseconds on the 3 different bells. Let's do this bell too. Go over here, say creative jitterbox, and about 50 milliseconds. And so now it's broken up, so everything isn't playing at once. If you're doing anything with horn ensembles, brass, you know, like saxophone, brass, and so forth. Jitterbox at like 50 milliseconds on each of the instruments makes it so much more authentic sounding. And it's every note, even when you play a chord, each note had its own amount of random timing. Right? Good stuff. On top of that, inside of this library, there's the ear candy I showed you, and then down here are some scenes where Bob's put everything together from all the different components of the library so that there's beautiful pads I haven't even shown you. The Forgotten Music box is adding the wine glass bottle and the kalimba and some effects. And then Kalimba by the Fire is the kalimba with rain, like perfect for lo-fi, kind of lo-fi vibe. It sounds real, but it sounds vintage at the same time. Kiss the Girl is beautiful. Saturday Morning. So there's a really sweet, whimsical love spirit to this. It's by the way, this is cool. He's using CC Writer. Hear the vibrato kind of going up and down. He's changing the bellows by the LFO rate being changed. Which is really nice. Nice added touch in there. Whimsical Parade for the... So there's 80 patches. It's on half off right now, so you can get this for the price of a steak dinner. It's really, really nice. If you go to the pads, let me show this really quick, and then we're going to move on. Hi, Scott. So the thing with Unify that nothing else can do, no matter what you're talking about, is the ability to just set this to a mode where I can just click. Let's see, I've got this pad. I'm going to add a piano from Love Eternal, and then I'm going to go to a different library. And I have all of these libraries with literally thousands of patches. Any plugin you own, you can save your own patches to do this with. I could go to Vocalesque, and I could go to pad, and I could say the Voice of Love. And I've loaded this pad from a completely different library into this existing patch so that I can... And we have 35 libraries for this, so you can go all sorts of different places. I've been showing you a library we just introduced for Valentine's Day. The other thing that it can do that no other thing can do really is that you can load up multiples of the same plugin, so you can have 6 layers of your favorite serum patches to make things work. There's all sorts of things like that you can do. It's an easy. We're a host, but we came with. When you go to here, we have all these instruments included with it as a host, so it's able right out of the bat to do more. Anyway, I'm not going to try to sell everybody the whole time, but Unify is really cool, and we made it mainly 4 years ago. We started this to make something where I could make libraries of sounds that aren't ripped off, and so we have a licensing system. I've got 40 libraries for Omnisphere, and you can go find those on all sorts of nefarious websites for free, basically. So this is I'm a sound designer. It's what I do for a living. So this is it's a sound designer's dream come true in some ways, because you can make libraries and protect them, and be creative in really cool ways, because we have MIDI effects and synthesizers and FM from DX and all sorts of stuff inside of here. The other library we just released is from Matthias Sauer, and as you can see, he has two other libraries. UniLo-Fi is a really cool library that came out a couple years ago, where it's playing you can go over here and to get in that lo-fi vibe right away with the drums. You know, crawdad chillax. So this is Matt's work. His new library is called UniFlow, and it's really an interesting concept. The idea of combining the kind of the ASMR kind of samples that have all sorts of unique things, frequency-wise, you know, the things that give you the tingles with synthesis. Everybody's gonna sell you, my friend. I love it. I love it. So these are various samples, first shown just as themselves. If you go to the sounds that come in this library, there's all these different ambient sounds, and then there's pads up here at the top. And by combining those, let's go down here to the pads. They're beautiful. Here's BPM pads. They have some motion. Various ways of approaching pads. And we also have just regular pads down here where those high ASMR sound effects are combined with cool pads. There's some really cool BPM ARPs up here that get more into the dancey things. Lots of different kind of patches. Take that, add a kick, load into a new Unify layer. And there's BPM Perk, which is from Wave Drum. There's a Wave Drum kit in here. Add that. Turn everything down a little bit so we get the percussion up. Go here, add some basses. And let's have this stop right about B2. And then I'm going to just go like this. I'm going to right click on all these guys. Have them stop at C. So I've made a key split just like that. So I have this cool bass. So, the sounds are really cool. Sound effects and synthesis together. It's a fun library. There's so many places to go. Simeon. So we have some various patches like this where it combines all the library together. And they work together, so I could go back here to Heartstrings. Let's go for adding piano live. It works. Add a bell. Yeah. So both libraries are at half off until March 1st. Any questions? Feel free to ask away. I'm going to kind of move. There's a lot to cover today. There's a number of plugins that came out through this coming week, this week. So I'm allowed to show you what's out now. Other stuff I can't talk about yet, but that's coming. To start with, let's do this. Cherry Audio released a really interesting new product. Not a synthesizer, which is nice. They've been on a synthesizer kind of tangent for a while, right? There's quite a few. Go over here to Cherry Audio. We have quite a few instruments that they've released. But they got something new. They have tackled a vintage drum machine, the CR78. And my goodness, this is really, really fun because they did a really smart thing. Instead of just stopping at emulating a CR78, which, by the way, this is done in synthesis. What you're going to hear is not samples. This is not just somebody putting samples together. Velocity switching, how easy to do? Very easy. We'll get back to CR78 in a second. Let me show you real quickly. Let's say we have a piano. So let's go to the piano. And we want so that when we play velocity really hard, we get the bells to come in. And I'm going to choose a bell patch. I'm going to say load as a new Unify layers. So it's multiple layers and all the effects and stuff, but it's inside of just one layer. And then right here in the interface, you can see right here it says low velocity, high velocity. So you could say, I want the bell sound only to come in when I play above, like say velocity 100. So then I'm just when I play a certain velocity, it brings in the bells. It's all done by velocity range right here. You have key range for the top note and the bottom note of where the sound will play on the keyboard. And then you have, and it shows you a little bar over here on the side of the screen, the key range for that layer. So you can set different patches to different key ranges for them to work. Very straightforward, very easy to use. Just like that. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's that just that easy. It's a parameter right here. Just change it to find where you want it to be, you know. Plus D. Yep. So if we go CR78, they have two versions, as you can see, a multi-out version, and then they have the stereo version. So I'm just gonna load the stereo version, and there you go. All done. CR78. You can go here to the patches. In the air. So if we wanted to do this, there's another new product that just came out. And they actually, I was checking and they didn't have, let's go over here, TAL. They've introduced a new vintage synthesizer. So if we go TAL, called At first I was saying the name wrong. It's supposed to be TAL PHA. It's not TAL PHA, it's TAL PHA, because it's based on an alpha Juno synthesizer, right? So, and actually, I was kind of surprised. They didn't make any pad sounds that I could find that were in the Era Tonight type of things. Now, we have unified this library already, and let me show you another advantage of Unify. I'm going to get rid of TAL PHA just by option clicking the bullet, and then go down here to the unified library for TAL PHA. All 512 patches are saved, and I can go to the tags, or I can just type up here pad, and now I have pads, and I can set this to Unify layer mode, so now I can play. Gotta slow it down. And if I want, I can open this up. I could go through other pads. But they didn't make the Prophet. They should have made the Prophet 5 pad. They didn't make it. So at least I haven't found it in here yet. Where there's a ton of pads. Now, if we wanted to make it, it's not a complicated patch to make. If we muted the CR78 for a second. If you open TAL, this is their new synth. It's called TAL PHA. It's based on the Alpha Juno 2, which is a synthesizer where you have actually different waveforms for the sub-os, for the phase, and for the main oscillator. It can be different waveforms. And in the unified version of the library, I give you access to all of those parameters. So if we open this up and put this to the side a little bit, if I move these knobs, oh, we're not going to cooperate. Let's shrink this for the second. If I move these knobs, it changes the shape of the pulse and so forth. I didn't do the shape for the sub-os. I should have done that. I got volume for the sub-os and the noise oscillator, but I didn't get access to the waveform for the shape. But if you open up TAL and you go, let's go like this. And if you go over here and you say default, and then if we turn this down, bring up key tracking. There's chorus. Now the envelope is a little unique. This is the old style Roland envelopes where they had time parameters and level parameters. It's kind of after the DX7 came out, so they thought they had to be more complicated and complex than an ADSR. You still have the ADSR. Here's your time. The breakpoint you don't have to worry about. Sustain. And we want to get some modulation in here. And then go down here to, let's see, voices. Let's have it be 12 voices epiphany. Turn on round robin so that they don't cancel. Let's take it down an octave. Maybe a little less PWM, a little bit faster. And I'd put another chorus on it. That's not enough chorus for me for the vibe. So you go modulation. Let's get this into a room of some sort. So let's go reverb. our own version of it. Right? So we're in the ballpark. If you want to get the waveform to be a little bit more strong, there's actually a really cool effect in Unify under EQ. It's called loudness. Check out what it does. Just gives it more presence. Isn't that cool? Yes, and the CR78, this plugin, it's like right now $49. It's great. I didn't put links into the chat itself, but cherryaudio.com. And the thing that's really cool with this is that you can go over to the voice edit page and play with the synthesis parameters to the various sounds that are playing. And then if you go over here to, there's another page, Mixer Effects, where you can turn up. And you have overdrive, flanger, delay, and reverb that you can turn on through this little matrix grid for everything, and you can pan everything. So you can... For example, that metal beat, let's go to the metal beat. I have all sorts of controls, and again, these are not samples, this is synthesis, so and I talked to the guys at Cherry Audio, and I was like, I wish you would have put an LFO in here. That would have been so dope. However, since they didn't, we can. So all you have to do is move this embedded layer into new Unify, and it will bury it into Unify layer. So we can go over here to created to the utility and add a CC writer. And so now we have a CC control. Open up Unify. It's assigned to CC20. So we just got to go over here and say, assign this to CC20. And then I'm going to right click here. Check this out. If I go to the instrument for the CR78, it gives me all of the parameters for real-time modulation. So I can go to that metal effect. Let's find it. Somewhere in here, there's the mixer. So we could have the mixer coming up and down in volume, but I want to find the decay. Decay, voice edit, decay. You know what? This is what's really handy and nice now is we have the ear. Little ear can listen. So what I can do is I'm going to bypass CC writer because I don't want CC coming in or else the ear will pick that up. And now I can open up CR78. I can go to that voice edit page. I can turn on the ear and then I can move this parameter and it grabs it. So this is the MB decay. It would have taken me forever to find it, but now I have it. So now. So if I go over here and turn on, it's doing it. And I could have as many CC writers talking to as many different CC numbers doing different parameters to do this inside of the CR78 plugin to get all sorts of cool stuff going on. So there's real-time capabilities. You guys want this pad? Tell you what, let's do this. Let's call up the preset the way it's supposed to be. Call back up in the air the way it's supposed to be. Let's see if there's any parameters here we could change. We can play with this, the Maraca DK. So, let's get this set up and I'll save you a Unify patch. You're going to need to own the CR78 and the TAL PHA plugin to get this to work. But if you own just TAL PHA, you'll be able to load it and it'll play just the pad. If you own, I mean, there's not that much it's doing inside here for the drums. But let's go CC Writer. We got to bypass it one more time. So we say bypass. Let's go back here to our, let's call this decay. Decay. And let's right click and let's get rid of this one. Turn on the ear again and move this decay so it grabs the M decay instead of the MB decay. And now we can turn it back on so it's playing. Let's go over here and let's change the range so it's not quite so. See how I can change this around? We have breakpoints for the controls. And I can make this even sweeter by adding some mastering effects. Go to replace from layer preset on the magenta. Oh, go away, Roland. Go here to replace layers, master presets, optimizer light on the mastering. The original had a little bit faster release, so let's go to TAL PHA. Now I like this pad, it's working fine, right? I could keep it as a Unify layer, or I could hold down Control and Option and click this, and it's actually the same as doing this, where it replaces just with the embedded layer 1. So, and the envelope isn't quite right. It's doing it really fast. Here it goes. Bring up our decay here. It shouldn't sustain down so low, and a little bit faster on the attack. And again, TAL makes really great plugins. This filter is great because if we bring up the filter cutoff, so let's do this. Let's assign that to the mod wheel. So let's go over here to our real-time controls. They actually have controls inside of TAL PHA. So we can say control mod wheel to the filter. So now I can play. Maybe let's embellish this a little bit more. Let's put a little Unify flavor into this. Let's go BPM pad. Let's say writing into a new world. See what this sounds like. And let's put this into some nice reverb. Let's use data verb. And then I want to add a little BPM percussion. So let's go BPM perc. This is in the standard library. So I'm just calling patches that we've made for the standard library. Turn off the pad, search control. I want to see more than pads. BPM percussion. Let's have a Lemon Shaker 16th be available. this is the Unify layer, I think I have some reverb here if I want it. Oh, let's go to MIDI box and turn off note to chorus so it just stays as one shaker. And then I'm just going to quickly set, so we've got this here filter for pad on the pad. Actually, pad filter. Why not? And then let's say BPM pad on off. And let's say shakers on off. And the way that we turn things on and off, there's so many different ways to do it in Unify, but we're going to do it. I like doing it. Okay. Oh, and that made it too big, so it doesn't fit. It's one of those. Okay, on off. Okay. So BPM pad. So you go over here to the plus button, to the pad layer, and we go MIDI enable. So that way, if the volume, if it's down, it's not playing. And shakers. We can go over here, go to instrument, shakers, MIDI enable. Because what this does is the little activity lights that light up are also double, they're double agents. And you can click them to turn them on. And what's cool is if you click them off, they don't immediately go away. Because this is based on MIDI notes. For the new notes I play, I need to get my fat EQ back in here, a little bit of loudness. And if I wanted to, I could bring in a delay. So let's go to the auxiliary effects, to delay presets, to just a simple low pass filter ping pong eighth. All right. Should we do anything else? That's rattling your room. Yeah, the low end of this is great. Let's do this. I've got that reverb, right? Let's make it so the reverb is able to be changed. And this is a chance to show you, if you have a Unify layer, you have to assign the knobs in the Unify layer before you can control them from the top layer of Unify. So if I want to change water verb, I'm going to go over here and say water verb. And I'm going to right click because it calls up our control. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to use this setting for how it's going to call up the knobs, because this way, when I go over here to effect, water verb, wet dry mix, it just sets it at what it is for the beginning and the ending value are what it is right now. And I want to make it so that it's at 8.5%. But I want it to be able, let's say I want to get really moody, but I also want to be able to totally take it down. Now I can move this till I get to like 8.5%. And let's say drum verb. Drum verb. That's what I'm calling it on the top layer. So I've been right clicking this, but also just so you know, you can click the little bullet right here, and linked parameters is what calls up this window. And I'm going to say full range, because this way it's going to take and use the full range of the knob I've already assigned. So we go to this empty Unify layer. Let's change the name. Let's change the name. This is the CR78. And these are the VST2 versions of these plugins. They have to be known to Unify for this to work. So we right click. And now when I go to the list, this says CR78. And we go to Unify water verb. And now I have, and kill the reverb. And let's do the delay also. So the drum, so you can add that or remove that as you want. So I'm going to say, let's do it with whatever value it currently is at, just so I know what value it is. So CR78, this is an auxiliary bus synth. So it's currently at -12. I want to go to 0. I wanted to do that. At the same time though, I also wanted to bring up the delay brightness, right? So I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna say, at the current value for beginning and ending, go to the auxiliary bus. I'm going to effects now on the same knob. This is what I love with Unify, is I'm gonna go over here to the filter, where is it at? Filter frequency. So I'm gonna have it as it goes up. When it's all the way up, I can click this and I can hear. I can actually listen. It's moving the actual knob so I can hear exactly where I want it to be. And when it's down here, I'm gonna have it be even darker and keep kind of dark for a while. So I'm gonna change the curvature. So as I bring this up, it slowly gets brighter, and then all of a sudden, it gets bright. So if I want, I can have no reverb, no delay. Or I could bring a reverb and delay. Okay, so let's call this, gotta call it in the air, my goodness. Bonus, let's just call it BPM pad. In the air, TAL PHA, and CR78, okay? And I'm gonna save this into the user library just to make it easy, but I wanna show you something that's really cool. Don't need any of that kind of stuff. I'll give myself credit since I made it. John Limcool. Custom TAL PHA dark Prophet 5 type pad. Yeah, that's fine. So save as and save into there. Now, check this out. When you download this, Shane, I remember this, but it's one of those things where sometimes it has to be like reverberated and set again. This patch right here, BPM split in the air, it's right here, right? When you download this, did you know you don't even have to load it? If I said init, I could be on a completely different patch. Just, let's see, let's go just to normal, and I'm just, if you take this patch and you drag it over Unify, it sees it and loads it. It doesn't even matter what library it's supposed to be in and stuff, it will load it. Right? So then you can go save, and now you can save it to whatever library you want to save it to. You don't have to put these files, the bonus patches, if it's just a .unify file like this, you can just drag it over Unify and it will load it up. And if you get an error message, then that's because you, on the known plugin page, you don't have the CR78 or the TAL PHA as the VST, not the VST3, not the audio unit. And you can go over here to select plugin files to scan, go to the VST folder, and find TAL PHA and all that stuff and load them up and get them to work and stuff like that, right? It's not by Cherry Software. Yeah, so I'm showing two different plugins at the same time. Sorry for the confusion. TAL PHA is made by TAL Synthesis. Let me get some links up here for you guys, because you're gonna want to. It's like, wait, I want that sound, so I'm gonna need it. So it's tal-software.com, and here is TAL PHA. Let's see, get this to go away. And it's on a introductory price at 20% off. So it's talsoftware.com. Here, I'll put it into our chat. And then you have access to this if you want. That kind of pad, most synthesizers can make that kind of pad. It's not, I mean, the TAL PHA made a nice version of it. That's a nice pad. But I could do that. I could do that in OBXD as well. I mean, I don't think I'm going to do that right now. I could, but there's so much other stuff I need to show you first. If we come back to this after the fact. But Cherry Audio is where you'll find the CR78. And it's also on an introductory price because that's how we all do it. So you can check it out. Let me show you some more patches for both of these guys. But cherryaudio.com. Here's for the CR78. Right, so you got those. Okay. Now, as to, let's get back to CR78 for 1 second. Some really cool things with this drum plugin is that, like I said, they have added CR78. Why aren't you loading? What happened? Browse. Oh, maybe I wasn't large caps or something. But because they have added all those synthesis parameters to it, when you go to the preset list, there's a whole lot of different... It's not just CR78 stock. They also have... Oh, that's not here. That's somewhere else. So, how can you change your VST3 to VST? So what you need to do, if you have the VST3 version loaded, is you can just right-click on it and say remove from the plugin list, and then it's gone. And then there's so many ways to get the plugins that you could scan just for updated VST by right here. And it will start scanning in the background if you want to have it scan all of your VST plugins. You can also go select plugin files to scan. And this opens up this window where you go to the VST window and you can choose just the ones that you want to load. And let's say CR70, I've already loaded it, but that's how you do one at a time. You also can do this, which is kind of cool. You can go to the actual computer finder for the plugin and just take it and drag it over this plugin window, and that will automatically have it scanned and loaded as well. So there's 3 different ways of getting the plugins known to Unify. You just, where it says format, it's going to change because more and more companies are no longer including VST2 versions of their plugins. I guess Steinberg in their new SD kit, you have to sign and promise that you're not going to release. Like, it's crazy what's happening. So VST3 is going to be like, which would be, I mean, we'll continue to support VST. But at some point we're going to change to where I guess we'll probably just have to focus on VST3. So, you know. Jurgen, what would Jurgen ask? Yes, hi Jurgen. There's many libraries at the website. There's audio demos and patch walkthroughs for all of them, stuff like that. So there you go. Oh, please send the patch. Oh, sorry. Okay, yes. I'm getting sidetracked. So let me go over here to Let's go to the library. Where did I put my freebies? Live stream. This is 2/17/24 CR78 and TAL PHA. So I'm going to give this to you instead of as a .guru file. This time we're just going to do it as a .unify file. Compress. Copy the link. And like I showed you, all you have to do after you unzip the file is just go to the main page in Unify, drag it over here, and it will load up the preset for you, okay? Paste. There's that. How much samples is your buffer size set for your audio interface when you run? Yes, so I have a Mac Studio with 32 gigabytes using an M1 Max processor. I believe my audio buffer size is currently 512 samples, so it's about 10 milliseconds. And it's totally sufficient for how I play for touch. Some people like faster, but giving yourself a little bit more buffer lets it get to more complex patches and not have problems and stuff like that. And remember, on the macro knobs page, you can turn on the shakers or turn on the pad. Turn them off. Right? All right, so let's get back to the CR78 for a second more. There's some other stuff to show you on it. 78. So there's all these different patches, and again, they did some really good jobs of making it more than just a CR78. Like this is the cowbell. Here's the snare, so we go to the snare. You can change the parameters for the drum sounds, which is really cool. Then go over here to the overdrive and put that on to the kick. So we say overdrive on. Turn it off, you know, that kind of thing. Really cool. You have EQ over here. So you can make cool radio kits if you want. Right? So it's flexible. There's a lot of controls. There's a compressor in it if you want to have it do the volume saturating and that kind of stuff. They also have a cool thing called fade, which you can have for the fade out or the fade in, where when you stop, it takes time to fade out. Here it takes 2 measures, and here it takes basically 1 measure. So you have it's real. They thought some really cool stuff in here. So kudos to our friends at Cherry Audio for making a very, very cool take on the CR78 that does more than just. It's more than just a CR78. So that's one of the plugins to show you today. Another one that we showed for a bit there was PHA, which is TAL PHA, which is a very nice emulation of the Roland MKS50 Alpha Juno 2 type of a synthesizer. Now there is 512 patches in here. They're organized this way inside of TAL PHA. They had the Unfinished, which is a programmer many of us know and admire. He's a good friend. He's a good guy. And Saif Samir is another good friend that made some really cool patches. The unified version of this library might be even easier to access and get around. If we go down to that library right here, which I put a link in the video description, I believe, already for it, so that you can download the unified library. All 512 patches are here. If you go to author, you can go Unfinished, and here's all of his patches. And if you want to layer his ARPs, just go to Unify Layer. And that's all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's all 5. Let's that force. A little loud, so we're going to hold down Option or Alt, which will turn down all the volumes together. That's the joy of Unify, is that the patches are able to be played with and used in such cool, fun, easy ways. So if you go just to the TAL software, this is where you're going to get to the factory patches, which sounds like you're playing an old Roland Juno synth. Snappy, you guys got that. Aftertouch. There's also, I saw that there's an MPE button. So if you have a MPE keyboard, you could turn this on. So now each of the notes has independent parameters. You can lock the effects. You can hold down hold if you want to have it play that sound forever. All that kind of stuff. So Steinberg in their latest contracts are asking developers or telling developers not to release VST2 plugins anymore. So even if they can, through Juice, make a VST2 plugin, they can't. In order to use the latest SDK, that's my understanding. They want people to just use VST3. So I guess we all have to follow respect. So this is a very nice synth. Lots of patches. We have so many analog synths. If you don't have your analog synth category covered, this is one to definitely check out. There's a free demo you can try. It brings up a white noise effect every minute or so. Safe made some really, really cool dance kind of patches. And you get to his basses, some really, really cool basses. Nice, snappy, cool. Cool vibe, cool vibe. Okay, there's one more synth to show you guys. I'm going to put this in. This is kind of like the out there a little bit category. Baby Audios released something called Atoms. And this is, it's an attempt at doing a physical modeling synth. They did simplified parameters and this unique interface that I'm still not totally clear on how it operates. It's a very unique sound though. So this is one of those where you should try the demo. And if the sounds are like warming your heart, then go for it. You have parameters like chaos, force, drive, filter, overtones, and order. You know, it's been a while, but we designed the wave drum algorithms. We used to have a program at Korg called SynthKit. Object-oriented filters and all the things that go into making physical modeling based car plus strong filtered delay tap synth sounds. And there's hundreds of parameters, literally hundreds of parameters. And if you don't have the parameters carefully calibrated to scale up and down the knob controls, they fall apart. There's cases with these where things go into different keys. Hear that? So just be aware that this has some like, this is like chemistry experiments, you know? There's some cool sounds though. They did a really good job of going through and like this is basically just a graphic visual interface. It doesn't really, as far as I know, it's just giving you notes. It's doing something weird with 3 notes of polyphony, right? So baby audio. Let's see here. Adams is right here. Babyaudio.com is where you will find Adams. It's $59, $99 retail. There's a free trial, as I said, so please check it out. If this is not, it's the category sounds it's hard to describe. Where's the, did I put it? Let me make sure. I think I put it into, let me put it up here. Go over here. TAL PHA unified copy. Here is the TAL. See, go down here. I'll put it into the video description. TAL PHA unified library. Thank you for asking. And I'll put it also into our chat. There you go. That will get you the TAL PHA library to download. So again, it's a unique sound. It's not like you can go, oh, that's like subtractive synthesis. It's not. It's because of their algorithm they're using. When you call up algorithms on the wave drum, each patch is a completely different algorithm. So this is basically one algorithm with lots of parameters to modify. They have this interface that I'm not a fan, but somehow you can yeah, so you know, we've been asked, I asked Shane. Shane told me that he'd got me. Shane, in like just a short period of time, did the unified TAL patches. He has a process set up. So we'll be doing that to the other TAL plugins. The baseline will be doing it. Yes. We will, yeah. Selenita, yes. I think we can get the baseline 101 probably in the coming week. Give us a week. Check back. Hi, Jim. Good to see you. Welcome. Great. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, any other questions? I made it. I made it through the 3 plugins. Oh, there's one more to show you. And that's our friends at Crow Hill. Crow Hill have taken Vaults beta and they've stuffed another library into it. So we now have chorus synth to go along with R&D strings, Celesta tone, shimmer guitar, and here's chorus synth, and it's a nice pinkish Valentine's Day color. And, you know, these minimal interfaces drive me crazy sometimes. They have one knob called shape for the envelope, so it can go from fast and snappy, but a long release. You can't get snappy and a short release. It has to be a long release. And as you bring this up, it just changes the attack. And for some reason, it starts over. I don't know. The Vault beta program is interesting. It's like, you know, the tone controls the filtering, but if the shape is up, so you can get snappy. There's echo. There's a splosh of reverb. There's a chorus. And a sub you can add. So it's now the way that they work their system is that you go to Crow Hill. Let's see, Crow Hill. You go here, and all you do is you just put in your email and so forth to log in, and you can just download the latest version of Vaults. It's not one of these selective things like even labs. You know, you can choose which of the labs you want to load. You can't do that with Vaults. You're just going to download and install it, and it's going to install all of these instruments. It's a little bit over like 1.5 gigabytes now. There's no saying, I don't need the R&D strings, go away. So they will be there. You get that free motion in there. Right, yeah, there's no controls for it doing what it does, but you know, you can't say anything too bad about something that's free that sounds like this, right? So that has been updated as well. So CR78 from Cherry Audio. I'll put links after the live stream. I will go through and quickly put links into the video description for the 3 plugins that I showed you. Also, don't forget we have a great sale price on the 2 new libraries. We have UniFlow from Matthias Sauer, which has all these really I love all the different really cool sounds with variations and stuff. It's great. Even keys. Then you go over to Heartstrings from Bob Dedez. And let's right click and add let's go to the pad. Say Enchanted Bellows, let's add that. And the piano. I'm thinking I might do like a little bonus live stream this week. Maybe on Monday. We'll see how it goes, but we'll make some bonus patches in a separate focused live stream. I'm just not really feeling like getting into deep programming today, so we're not going to. But I'll make I'll send out a newsletter, let you guys know. And if you miss it, it's saved, so you can come back and watch it. And I'm planning to make 5 bonus patches that use both UniFlow and Heartstrings together. So if you have both libraries, you're going to have some bonus patches that use the two to create. Tell you what, this is starting to sound nice already, actually, right? That's nice. Maybe we can find one more UniFlow element. That's nice. Nice, I like that. All right, one bonus patch today. How's that? So if you own UniFlow and Heartstrings, we'll call this a Z BPM pad. Z BPM pad. This is flowing from the heart. Lovely pad with motion, using elements of both Heartstrings and UniFlow V1. And we're going to go save as, but I'm going to save this to a new library. Yeah, I think that's best. So we'll say new library, plug in Guru, Heartstrings, UniFlow. I got to come up with a better name than that, though. Let's see. Give me just a second. I don't know what to call the library yet. What should we call it? UniFlow bonus. How about this? Heart. I know, here we go. UniHeart flow. HER. The UniHeart. Like, there we go. So we got the Unifart. No, we won't do that. UniHeart bonus. Okay, so that's the name of the library. Save as save. I will get you. You guys want this now? tell you what, let's do this. We fill in the Finder, and we'll go over to, I'll get you this patch right now, and it's going to be in a different location than the final, because let's do it this way. What the heck? So go new folder, libraries. Oh, I already have a libraries. Okay, go over here. Where's libraries? Go delete those. Go over here to the Finder. Come back. Go to Unify. Libraries. Open that up. Thank you. UniHeart bonus. So we can put that there. And then we compress it. And then let's give it the name. UniHeart bonus. Paste.guru. So this way it will put the library into Unify. It's either me trying to like, and then I think on Monday night we'll do an extra one stuff. Yeah, it's nice sound. Because it moves. Listen to the breathing of it. Ah, Marcel. Yes, that's a little work library in progress. So let me get this to you guys. I can't say anything more about that one right now, but I'll be telling you soon enough about that one. I can't get anything past you guys. You guys are just way on top of it. Let's see, Plugin Guru freebies, live stream. I'll put this here for the moment. Copy the Dropbox link. And yes, our first bonus sound for that ASMR, that the synthesis layers and stuff is such a wonderful. And to close out the show, you know what we got to do? Let's see if we can find a cool pad. Nice with this is you can go voice that. Like, I don't like the pitch of that kick. Oh, bring the decay. If you want to take this farther, you could like solo, use your right button to click solo, so it lets you turn off one layer while you check out another layer. I thought this layer, since it has the high frequency content, those are the layers to look at for adding rhythmic elements, because you'll hear it because there's high frequency content. So if I take this, if I just go over to Unify Dynamics, Pump House, click in the graph and go over here to the rhythmic pulses. I'll make a, I'm not going to include this one today, but I'll be putting out this bonus library. Let's call this Pulsing from the Heart, because it's even more noticeable. Go save as and save so that and if any of you guys in the coming week, if you want to make some bonus patches using the UniFlow and the Heartbeats libraries together, you can also use anything from the standard library. Don't use anything from any other libraries unless it's like the TX816 factory. You could do that because we have the DX inside. You know, you could take the electric piano and say load that to an UniFlow. But if you want to make bonus patches in this coming week, I'll put everything that anybody sends me. Just this little, just send it to Unify support at pluginguru.com, and I'll put them into the library as well, so we can make a little bonus library amongst ourselves for the Guru Nation. The rules are using only the standard library patches, along with Bob's Heartstrings and with Matthias's UniFlow. So we'll have a little collaborative library between two other programmers. Sound fun? Hey, secret. Actually, we've been given the blessing from the guys at Swam. I don't think I have it here. I can't show it yet, but yes, there is something coming supporting Swam instruments. So for those of you that have the Swam instruments, we have some pretty amazing stuff to show you in a couple weeks. Those of you that don't know, Swam is physical modeling. If you go to ilio.com, you can get to the Swam instruments, or also just the Swam instruments. What's their website? Audiomodeling.com. These are pretty shocking instruments in the realism and the quality. They just did string sections, but they have solo instruments for so many different categories, and I have all of them installed. So here, as a bonus, I'll just give you 1 second. So check this out. So if we go over here and we go Swam, and let's say we use, let's get the flute. Not the piccolo. The French horns are really nice. Let's say flute. So here's the Swam flute. They're really killer, but they can only play one note. But Unify, it's capable of playing more than one note, right? So if you own Swam instruments, I'll give you a shortcut so you can get started on this. We've taken it much farther. If you go down here to templates in the factory patches, right here in the T's, template, polyphonic from mono, call it up. Where it says Guru Sampler, right click, Swam, choose any Swam instrument you want. Let's go back to the flute. So we can go to the flute. And all you have to do, if you read the instructions inside here, I detail step by step what you need to do. But here's the steps. So it's all set up. So you just have to, this is set currently to 4 voices. I'm going to make it 8-voice polyphonic. So it's going to be 8 voices of polyphony. I get this all set up. So you just turn off the bypass on Polybox. And then over here, once you have the flute that you want, say duplicate 7 times, and now I have an 8-voice polyphonic Swam instrument. And you can do that with anything. And if you hold down Option and you click Init, that will bring it right back to just one layer. It deletes everything but the first layer. So instead of Swam flute, we can say trumpet. Trumpet. Let's say Swan trumpet in C. All I have to do is turn this back on and say duplicate this 7 times. And now I have an 8 voice. Now, we don't have a way, if you're playing chords, to be also to do legato. The one thing that's unique with the SWAM instruments is if we say init and bypass this is there's all this stuff going on when you're playing legato. You'll still need a separate track for the parts, the notes that you want to have legato action, because it actually watches how you play legato, how long you hold down notes. To all to make it sound like a human group. Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I'm working on a library with these. I was at the NAMM show, and this Ilio distributes Unify, and they also distribute SWAM. And so I spent a lot of time with Stefano and all of them. And all you have to do if you wanted to get to the timing thing would be to go over here, say, give yourself, well, here, do it this way. Go over here before you duplicate, add a jitter box, set the timings to where you want to be, like, say, like maybe 45 milliseconds or something like that. Now, when you duplicate 7 layers, each one of them has a jitter box. So now it's, and if you wanted to like change this to be the trombone, alto trombone, you can see where this is going to go. We're going to make some ensemble things that are just going to be crazy, but the instruments are not cheap and stuff, but it will be a free library that we're going to do just to support, to get it into the polyphony. We've gotten the blessing from SWAM, from audio modeling, to do this. So I'm letting you know about something that's coming in the future. I'm not good at keeping secrets. But that's another thing that we're working on, okay? Good stuff. All right, shout out. Time for our shout outs. Shout outs from wherever you are in the world. Shout out from. Yeah, if you're trying to do mock-ups, these will be really great just to be able to get where you can play. It's kind of like what we've done with the BBC Symphony Orchestra, where you can play all the string section all at once. Similar thing. Yay! Good to see you, Ken, in Washington, UK, for Adrian. Good to see you, Adrian. Winnipeg. Glad you're here, man. Yeah, it's really fun. Todd Bradshaw in Tennessee. Right on, Todd. Hello over there. Dubes in Cloud9. Love it. I mean, the work that they have done on the instruments is just stunning. Wonderful stuff. Hello, Planet CJ Rick. Right on, man. Nuremberg. Good to see you all. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been really, really fun to hang out and show you some new plugins. Hopefully some things that are inspiring you and getting you all excited. Yeah. And don't forget, there's a sale on at the website until Wednesday. 40% off all the libraries. And then the 2 libraries, Heartbeats and UniFlow, are at 50% off until March 1st. So lots of savings, lots of chances to get you some inspiring patches if you need them. Hands together, head bowed. Thank you to all of you for your support. It's always fun. We'll see you next week. We'll do it all over again. Okay? So have a great creative week and a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Okay? Take care, guys. Bye.